following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome, folks, to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. Once more, into the breach do we go, dear friends. As always, we like to meet at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And, we're kind of in a glass half full, half empty. And, of course, you all know me. I throw something at the server and say, bring me back a full glass. But I'm not at a place that I can do that right now. So I will sit here and look at the half glass and wonder if it is half full or half empty. I suspect we know before the end of the day, but volume was incredibly light through the first 30 minutes, and then the first really half of the trading day. Volume has picked up as we've come off the highs of 2193 on the S&P cash. We're at 2188 and some change, 2189, let's call it. Volume still is not anywhere close to 2 billion. We're going to need that to be able to hold any kind of highs. We're going to look at stocks today that are kind of long in the tooth. We're going to also talk about a little news. I've got a little bit of I informed you thusly. And what else do we have? Got a little bit of everything out here today, but I think the close is going to tell us a great deal more. But they keep pushing the market up a little higher, not a lot of volume. And I think that's about it. We're going to get deep into charts today after the snooze, which there isn't much. I don't know what else you can say about it other than that. Let's get this party started.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating. And my engineer says it's neither full nor empty. It's just half. Well, bring me a glass that's twice the size of the old glass and just make it half empty. Is that okay? We're in a land of plenty here. How can you have a glass that's half full? I just don't believe that. Anyway, on this day in 1940, President Roosevelt signs into law the Investment Company Act of 1940, which solves all of our issues in the stock market for the rest of our lives. Okay, it didn't. Which limits the amount of money a mutual fund can borrow, restricts its ability to invest in securities underwritten by its brokers, which was, of course, a big problem, and reduces the potential for conflicts of interest. As he signs the bill, Roosevelt declares, "We've come a long way, baby." Well, that was a cigarette ad. Since the bleak days of 1929, I have great hopes that the act which I have signed today will enable investment trust and industry to fulfill its basic purpose as a vehicle to diversify the small investor's risk. And, of course, out of the fire and into the frying pan, or out of the frying pan into the fire. I'm going to mix my metaphors today. I haven't divulged in a while. I may be in risk of losing my trophies for this year. I haven't thought about that. Anyway, it is that. Yes, I was going to say that, but then I haven't heard anybody digress in a while. And what else can you say? I think just one or two digressions this year would be enough. I don't think anybody digresses just on the thought that they wouldn't have a chance against winning against me for that digression trophy at TFNN this year. Of course, one of the tenets of the book what is it? I'm going to think of his name here in a second. He wrote a short history of financial euphoria. John Galbraith. John Galbraith. But he says, everything happens. They pass new worthless laws. The people on Wall Street are pretty smart, and they figure a way to get around them, and they do it all over again. And there's nothing new on Wall Street. On this day in 1940, all our problems were solved. Not really. Yesterday, I had to tell you that Mylan had decided to raise its price for its EpiPen some 500%.
I informed you thusly.
Yes, I did. I informed you thusly, and I told you thusly, and I warned you thusly, and it was down 4% before the beginning of the show. Of course, they raised the price of their EpiPen when the last competitor decided to pull out. They were about $65. They were about $50 a year ago. They're $65, and now they're planning to raise these things to about $300 a pen, supposedly for insurance purposes. I said whoever did this was a horrible shill or incredibly stupid and needed to be fired at Mylan. No one's asking who in this environment did it. I thought maybe, we'd have a few days before this thing blew up in everybody's face. I didn't know by 5 o'clock last night when we talked about this at 2 yesterday that already we would have a congressional investigation. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. But the news cycles just don't move that long. But man, either somebody wanted to throw a monkey wrench into the biotechs, or they're really that stupid. Are they that stupid and that jaded? I don't know. It's very tough for me to figure out. Did someone get bought off to do something like this so that this could go into the election cycle? I can't imagine anybody really that incredibly stupid. Thought about it all last night. And is there somebody, anybody that stupid to do this right before the election? Apparently there is. The question is whether or not they did it on purpose or not. And who knows? But I told you thusly. I know I'm going to get, my engineer's going to be all over you.
I informed you thusly.
I did. Muskie tweets. I thought that sounded like a new kind of hipster cologne. Muskie tweets. Anyway, Mr. Musk from Tesla is announcing a new product at noon. So that would be about, 45 minutes from now. It was up a couple of percent, maybe 1% earlier in the day, but watch for that. And maybe I'll get to play I informed you thusly tomorrow on that. But watch for that at 3 o'clock. I have no idea what it's a new product. No one really knows. And, of course, a lot of these things have been a whole lot of a nothing burger, like the guy from Shark Tank says. It was a nothing burger. I don't know what a nothing burger is, but I think I do. Anyway, some musky tweets out there today. Their new announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So keep your eye on Tesla. We'll be back after this break.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And I spy with my little eye out of the corner that they're now whipping on Myland on TV. So I figure this is on a kind of a boring day without much news. It's probably going to get a lot of press and get me depressed. I wanted to go through some of the stocks that had just been on kind of a tear. So we'll take a look at those. Amok has run amok, AMKR, Amcor, probably Amcor technology. But it looks close enough to amok. Anyway, this thing has rolled. I'm looking at a lot more of these stocks out here that have pretty much now are right on the cusp of it. I don't know a lot about this company. Let's check this one out real quick. Happy to learn about more. A lot of these I do know about, and you just have to be reminded. Semiconductor packaging and test services in the United States. Company offers turnkey packaging and test services, including semiconductor wafer bumps and wafer probes. Somehow I have a feeling from, if I remember right, they are in, where are they in? Tempe, Arizona. Huh. I thought maybe they were in Texas. Anyway, in the semi-space, the whole semi-space took off. Now, you have to love the way this thing came off the bottom with some huge volume. 6.7 million shares on the, August 2nd. It's been on a tear ever since. And but now it's kind of getting to the point where it's kind of hard to find anybody else to jump on in behind you, which is kind of the entire market, I suspect. Other stocks that have been on a tear and you want to watch for somebody getting off the merry-go-round and maybe the music to stop for that game of musical chairs up here. Certainly is a popular, and it's been a popular stock, BPOP. Kind of vaguely remember this thing. It must have gone through some reverse splits or something. I don't remember this thing being this more expensive, but kind of up a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like there was a band, and they were called like the Wonderful or the Best something or other. I can't remember the name of the band, but it was the Fabulous Thunderbirds. I always liked that, the Fabulous Thunderbirds. You should just put your own acclamation in your name, shouldn't you? The Wonderful David White. And Wonderful would be my first name. We had earnings come out before the bell on the housing stocks. We'll look at them a little closer. This thing's been on a run. The market really started to look weak to me right after the numbers at 10 o'clock, which the housing numbers were very good. So were the numbers on from Beezer. But the Richmond Fed numbers are kind of pointing to what I was looking at earlier in the last few weeks, and that is I'm pretty sure that we're in a recession. They're just going to continue to try to paper over it for a little while, and it doesn't have to be a big recession. It's just negative growth. As the rest of the world, we're kind of getting worn out on the QE, and it just doesn't do what it used to do. We're trying to manipulate the dollar now, but we can only move that so far. And it's led this market to a lack of volatility at highs and lack of energy, because we have to have, in the bigger fool theory, you've got to have somebody that's a bigger fool to buy it from you. We still have a lot of cash flowing around, so I'm not saying that I can divine the future 100%, but still is a little flaky out there to me that you're praying for the bigger fool to buy a S&P at 25 PE and find somebody that wants to buy it at 26 PE. CAMVM Network, CAVM, is another one. This one's been rolling up since the 6th of July. No real sign on this one yet, other than the fact that this and many other of these have kind of come into bigger downtrends in their gap. In this case, this one came down on 4.4 million shares back on the 28th of April, and for the last 3 days, 2.3 million, 690,000 shares yesterday. Today, 539,000 shares. So we've got kind of a lot of these individual stocks look like they're running in headlong into some problems. We talked about Honda. This one's an ADR, so it bounces a little bit off. But this one on a longer term has had a little bit of a few issues, as you can say. What is this? Let's go back out here just a little longer. This one is back to its gap down on the 4th of January, as so many others are too. So I don't know if you can make a great deal out of this, other than the fact that for the most part, we're kind of back into these gaps. I'd say 80% of the stocks I'm looking at are into these gaps with much lighter volume, maybe 10% about the same volume and about 10% with significant breakouts. So still very weak to the upside for the most part. But it's not a broad brush that covers everything. It covers about 80% of it. Anyway, Honda Motor making a little, you could make a case out here for a little tri-top on Honda on that one, so we'll keep an eye on it. IDEX, another one of these stocks on a tear. No real sign on this thing other than the very light volume. And it's been going down actually since the 19th of July, and so it's kind of weak. IGT, International Game Technology, is another one. For the most part, I suspect this is a lot of the stuff that they've been shipping over to Wynn's new casinos in China. So everybody's looking for a fairly decent, good earnings call on the next one. Their guidance probably not going to be that big. These things are all feast and famine. because, of course, all those orders depend, for the most part, on new hotels. There's, some people up their games and their one-armed bandits, but that's kind of tough. Kennametal, it was very interesting to see how U.S. Steel ran over. This one's been another one that's just run, but U.S. Steel kind of already failed. Of course, you can email me at path@tfnn.com and call me at 877-927-6648. We talked about U.S. Steel already rolling over, and this one had a nice big pattern out here once it dipped back down underneath this moving average. It's pretty much stayed back there. So it was kind of interesting to see Kennametal, hanging up here. I don't know enough about the differences in the metal business, but man, you just can't really like the volume of the last 7 or 8 days on this one. Looks like distribution to me. When we come back, we'll look at LOGI, some others. Any questions or suggestions in the den, and of course, phone calls. Looking forward to your phone things.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And Logitech, a company I'm not too happy with. They knew a new update was coming out in Windows and didn't do anything to the driver for the last 2 years, and now everybody's got to wait for an update to the driver. Not exactly sure why these guys sat around with their pants down, but they certainly did. But this one's been on a nice roll. It has just today clicked underneath the 3x3 displaced moving average. And eventually, of course, all these stocks that gap up as this one did on the 28th and on the 29th of July will probably come back and at least fill part of that gap. That'd take you back to about 18.5 bucks on that one. But a lot of these stocks hanging up and in a true parabola. Talking about true parabola, I can't even say it. Parabola today is Novotel. This one has a very, very nasty candle out here today. This is what you call your dark cloud cover, your bearish engulfing. A lot of names for these style of ones, but man, a pretty good signal that this one had ticked out. Let's see what else we have out here. Okay, Momo. We have some Momo. We got some Momo in Momo. Another one that's raced up. This one had another good day out here today. This one's been bouncing off the 3x3 since back July the 7th. Let's see some other ones out here that have been on a tear. Micro semi, these semiconductors have been, but man, the volume has gotten infinitesimally light on some of these. You got to watch out for them in the coming days. MSCC up today again on very light volume. MSCI is another one. It's been running for pretty much into the beginning of July. But these things are getting a little bit of gravity coming on it. Another one that's up today on 166,000 shares. I mean, you would really like to see something like 500,000 up here to make you think that that's going to at least get retested when this thing pulls back. Motorola Solutions, you know, I kind of like this company now that it's separated from Google a bit, but the market doesn't. Energy on the way up from this low back on June 27th has been rather light. And you've hit this high of April 4th that had 2.1 million shares. I mean, you busted above it today. You should have had probably 2.5, 3 million shares today. About 635,000 so far. And nothing really lasts 3 or 4 days. So not a lot of people jumping in. NVIDIA has been on a tear. This one is looking very close to getting ready for a pretty significant pullback, in my opinion. The volume did gap up on earnings on the 12th of this month. It's kind of really gone sideways, very much like a kind of a Facebook pattern out here. Let's go back and look at Facebook. Facebook basically jumped up and then went sideways. And at highs, you just don't like that because it's a pretty good, if you're getting this kind of pattern at lows, that's pretty good sign of accumulation. At highs, a fairly decent sign of distribution. And why it's up a little bit today, there is no significant volume. This thing really has been going sideways back since the 29th of August, and there's not a lot to say about Facebook on that one. QLD, of course, this has just been the market, but you got close to a close underneath yesterday. You really want to see some kind of sign of strength in the QLD today with some volume as it jumped higher, and it has not. To the QQQs, if we want to look at that one, very much the same thing. This thing's been running back since the beginning of July. And you've got a couple of closes just underneath it. You got to close above it. But you really, when these things bounce back above a moving average like this, you should be seeing at least some volume come into the market. It has not. SPNC, the Spectranetics Corporation. What does this company do? Let's take a quick look. Come on. Manufacturers, markets, and distribute single-use medical devices used in minimally invasive procedures. Single-use medical devices. I wonder what those are. Cross, prepare, and treat arterial blockages. Is that a stent? Is that what these guys are trying to say? They actually make stents? Oh, here it is later in it. They read three-part paragraphs before. Support catheters and drug-coated balloon catheters. So kind of like a stent. I don't know what the difference between that and the stent is. They have a laser sheath and some other things. Okay. It's all about arterial disease, thrombosis. Okay. But no volume, nothing. This has really been going sideways since the 12th out here, as the rest of the market has. ST Micro Devices, talk about one up on kind of rarefied air today. Just about 1 million shares so far today. But a little jumpy little guy out here. Of course, it did have a good earnings call on the 27th, gapped up. Not so bad, but man, I just don't see anybody else jumping in at these highs out here, dying to buy it. Maybe they're running a few more shorts out of this stock. State Street Corporation, which you don't think of these stocks as parabolic, but this one has been on the right side of the 3x3 going back since the 7-11 days. And Mr. Apu. On the 11th of July, 2.7 million shares that day. It's been kind of going up. You had a nice day, a good sign of strength. A lot of these stocks, when we go back and look at them, have had these double gaps, which is what I'm putting my mouse over right now. Pretty nice gap up on the 27th of August. But since then, man, it's been very light, and it certainly looks, even you got a little pop out here today, certainly looks like a lot of distribution going on. 2189 on the S&P cash volume is just ticked over 2 billion shares. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Thor Industries, I wonder if they have a magic hammer, this company. This one really took off back on the 1st of July. With a nice sign of strength, 2.2 million shares. Really hasn't had any follow-through days on volume. You did have kind of a nice day back here on the 18th. And I'm not going to call the 19th more than anything than kind of just more sideways action. But last couple of days, a little lighter volume out here. Nothing that just looks to me like bidding it up a quarter at a time. Got a few more of these stocks to look at, and then we'll look at some of the other ones making signs of highs and lows on light volume.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Ecology. What do we have? Nice breakout, at least back to the March 8th high, that 2286. They just had a FDA announcement coming out on something. I didn't see what it was, but I was going to see if it actually juiced the IBB that much, and not really. It's kind of stuck where it's at, so I'm not going to get too excited. IBB got to 289, but wasn't a lot of juice in it either. I'll take a quick look. Yeah, just a little bit higher out here. Just no juice today. 715,000 shares. Needs about 3.3 million shares to get into that August 4th high. Let's take a look at TiVo. Not to be confused with Devo. Got to whip it good. TiVo, a little more bounce out of this stock than you would think, but on a nice run that has been, for the most part, above the 3x3 back since August 1st. Actually July 1st itself, too. So, very interesting. We'll keep an eye on this. We have TLMR. Nice little roll out here. Talmer Bank Corp. No signs on this. Actually, some volume in this one today. So I don't see anything more going on that. TPX, which is Timber. This, I think, is still getting bought out. Going sideways on this one. TQQQ. This one, again, is just the rest of these Qs out here that look like there was a lot of distribution going on. You got this little pop out here today, but just 1 million shares compared to 1.5 million yesterday. You really probably should be looking at about 2.6 million shares to be thinking that we're going to get any kind of continued move higher out there. TTEK, this one's on a rocket. Tetra Tech. I don't know if that's a bad tick today, but certainly looks very interesting. Above 35, this thing has been on its roll since, June 30th. I don't see anything else really going on out here in this other than this thing just going kind of straight up. It's $5 or $6 above its previous low, but nice little run. Zebra Technologies, a lot of technologies in these companies. This one has had kind of a nice bottom and a nice roll back from the 12th of July. This one, though, looking like it's about ready to come back into this gap. That'd take you to about $58. Nice gap on volume going back to August 9th. 1.5 million shares. You can get this back at about $58. That may be fairly interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. 2188 on the S&P cash. Still not, what do we have? 2.0 billion at the last break. The bottom of the hour, we got, we don't even have 2.1 billion shares now. So the volume continues to degrade. What else is going to look? Look at a few more stocks out here of interest and see how they did. Chicago Bridge Company. This is not bad. I think it's going to have a couple bumps before this thing finds bottom. This is probably the stock that a lot of people are thinking that will do well if Trump gets elected, i.e. wants to build a lot of things, wants to redo bridges, that kind of stuff. And it kind of tends to move with the poll numbers a little bit. But this thing is down on a light volume. Maybe whoever gets elected is going to find some bridges to repair. But certainly very interesting out here. I kind of like, there aren't a lot of stocks that are down on lighter volume. This one probably I would have liked to see a little bit lighter volume from this July 21st high, but looks interesting nonetheless. Canadian Pacific Railway. This one is the one that really has me kind of stumped. Very light volume back in and through this April 22nd high of 2.3 million shares. You did have a nice day where you had 1.9 million shares that kind of go into those candles back on the 20th of July. But, last few days, 600,000, 700,000, 418,000 yesterday, 185,000 shares today. So I'd be keeping an eye on those railroad stocks for signs of weakness. Centergon Networks, this one looks like the top is certainly in on this one. It is a penny stock. Dunkin' Donuts, this one you wanted to see a lot more volume as of yesterday and today. We go back to July 22nd. This had 2.8 million shares. Yesterday, 1.5 million shares as it broke through that high, and 1.2 million shares out here. Wouldn't take a whole lot to come back into this trading range. FVE, which is 5-star quality care, had a nice, for a penny stock, had a nice little bounce off the bottom here. But, if you're looking at playing pennies, this one looked a little bit interesting to me. A little bounce out of here, no volume, but these pennies have a lot more chance to come back and actually test the previous lows and not just fill the gap. This isn't a stock that anybody's going to be shorting from the retail sector out here at $1. So don't look for as much cushion as you would in the stock that was trading at 15 or $150 with short interest coming in and out of it. General Dynamics, was very interested to see this one up here on lighter volume, the October 28th high, 152.51, 2.6 million shares. Got into it with 2.1 million shares on August 5th. This one is now kind of starting to confirm, at least on the 3x3, the weakness out here. Very light volume as it went above it on the open this morning, but closing back below it. We were looking at about this 145 level is probably where GD is coming back to. GXP, which is Great Plains Energy. We talked about energy on this one, and this one being a light volume low out here. No real energy since it spiked and came back into the trading range on August 17th. About 4 days of going sideways on this one. I would think that if we were going to have a great deal of energy-related plays out here, that at least some of these that had been making lows on extremely lighter volume, like Great Plains, would have seen a little bit of love out here. And they're kind of being ignored just a little bit, or a whole lot. We're going to come back after this short commercial time out. It is Tuesday, so we will be going on to the Tom O'Brien Show for the next 2 hours after this one. And then, of course, my friend Andy Heck after that, talking commodities. Hang on.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we come into the home stretch, remember, as we said at the beginning of the show, Tesla has a news announcement at 3. I don't think that's going to move the market, but if you're playing Tesla, it might. 2188 on the S&P cash, volume 2.13 billion shares. So volume, again, was actually stronger than yesterday, which was very weak coming into the show, and has really gone light here in the last, last hour or so, hour and a half. You're up 19 points on the Nasdaq, but it just doesn't look like there's a lot of push out here in any of these stocks. TXT which is Textronic. Like we said, a lot of stocks coming back to these gap downs, coming into rather extreme supply levels. This gap down on Textron was the 6th, and gap down with 2.25 million shares, just 780,000 shares out here today. So you're going to need to get your way through a great deal of that. If anybody hung on from 41 all the way to $30.69 before they flamed out. But, you've had a nice move off the low from February 11th up to this April 20th high. Decent pullback. Volume shrunk just like it's supposed to get ready for an ABC up. But what you didn't have is any more energy from that June 29th low up to this high. In fact, the energy's been out, and the energy has been coming out. So I think at least for Textron, you probably got just about everything that you're going to look for. I'm not a big fan of shorting this stock, but I think the writing's on the wall on this one. Maybe a bigger trading range between 36 and this $41 area certainly is there. I wanted to take a quick look before we left at Microsoft. Saw this thing kind of gap up a little this morning. Didn't think looking at it at noon was going to have any kind of volume. Again, a lot of these stocks just look at these highs. You're going sideways with very light volume. Really makes me suspect that we've got a little bit of distribution going on out here in some of these. Let's take a look at Intel, INTC, see if we got anything else on it. And this one's at least getting back up to its gap down that it had on earnings on the 21st. 63.6 million shares back on that 21st of July drop down. You're back in it with 12 million shares today. And even the day before the earnings came out, you had 42 million shares. Man, it is very, very light out here. And of course, surprises pretty much come in the direction of and opposite to the movement of light volume. I just don't see a great deal out here that says anything that you would want to be long. I don't see any signal to pull the trigger yet short. What else do we have? TSLA, one last request out here. That's it. Okay. A little bit of bounce out here you got a little dig out here on his tweet. Volume is just slightly better. According to his tweet, of course, he's got some kind of new coming out. I don't see a lot in this yet. I'll probably see it here in the next 30 minutes during Tom's show. Maybe he'll give us an update on this. And I'll try to post in the den what their new product is. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.